Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good today. So in today's video, I feel like it was such a highly requested video from you guys, and I am actually a little bit sick today because of the weather. I'm not feeling that great, so if my energy is down, it's because of that. Anyway, in today's video we are going to be talking about this new brand launch on NYKAA, which is Rude Cosmetics. Now I feel like this is not an Indian brand. I have seen this around from international beauty influencers talk about this brand back in the day, but it's newly launched on NYKAA. Let me know if this is an Indian brand, because I don't think so it is. Anyway, we'll talk about the brand. I did get few items from the launch, and I got everything with my own money, so I just wanted to give you guys the transparency here. So let's dive right in. So when it comes to this brand, this is moderately affordable, which means that it's not exactly like 300 rupees ka foundation nahi aata hai. That's what I'm talking about, but they are not like extremely high price also. So anyway, the first thing that I tried here is the Rude Double Trouble Foundation plus Concealer. So this is like a foundation and a concealer mixed in together. Like it's like a very full coverage foundation only. Now when I was using this foundation, I have to say that this is a very thick sort of a foundation that you have to work on immediately. To be very honest, I don't like the way it applied with a brush. It definitely has good coverage, and even the shade is not a good match for me. I think I should have gone down a shade. The shade selection in this foundation is not that great. Now when it comes to the coverage, the finish of this foundation, the finish is quite okay, I'll say. It's not something extremely lightweight. Like I do feel like I have foundation on my skin. Honestly, the foundation is just okay. Like it's not that great, but it's not really bad. Like it's not, it's not sinking in my lines, or it's not looking patchy or anything, but it's not really a great foundation, because I feel like it's very like 2018 2019 sort of a foundation, that we used to use back in the day. But right now foundations are so lightweight. Even they give coverage, they look pura like skin. You can blend it with your fingers, you can blend it with the brush, you can blend it with a beauty blender. So you have that very lightweight consistency to foundation these days, that I wouldn't choose this foundation over the other foundations that brands are coming up. So for me, this foundation was not a great product, and if you have dry skin, you definitely need to moisturize very well, or else this foundation can tend to look cakey. I will be using this foundation more like concealer next time and see if I can make it work. If it works that way, because of the consistency, I feel like it didn't work as a foundation that great. I mean, it does look good, but I feel like there is something on my face, and I don't want to feel that way when I'm wearing makeup. So that's the thing. Okay, so next, moving on to the cream blush that we have here. Wait, let me just see what's the packaging. Okay, so this is the packaging, and it's the cream puff. Now first of all, I give it to Rude Cosmetics for coming up with really such a cute packaging. I absolutely love this packaging. It's so beautiful and so cute. Now coming to the blush, I have the shade Shortcake. So this blush shade, actually it looks like really a little bit dark on the pan, but when I was applying it, I noticed that it lightens up a lot, and I know that this is going to look good on dusky skin as well. Now one thing I want to point out about this blush is that it's very creamy, and it actually has a very nice consistency to it. A lot of the times right now, since it's winter, my cream blushes are very stiff, and I don't like that at all. In summers, they are very like easy to apply. But right now, all my cream blushes, not my liquid blush, my cream blushes, very stiff and a little bit hard to apply. This one, although it's winter, it's so creamy. I love it, and the application also was really good, very easy, blends out really easily. At first, you feel like, okay, this might be a little bit too pigmented, but it's not. It actually did blend out really nicely, and I love the formulation of this blush. I can totally see myself wearing this on an everyday basis because of the shade as well. Like it's so pretty, and it definitely just brightens up my skin tone a lot. And you can use this on your lips as well if you want to. So for me, this blush was definitely a hit. Next, coming on to our eyes, this is the eyeshadow look that I created using this palette from Roost Cosmetics, and it is the Tokyo palette, and it is 14 colors eyeshadow. Now when I looked at this palette and I looked at the swatches online, I immediately fell in love because this totally calls out my name. This has a very nice purplish pink sort of a shade in here, which is a shimmer shade, and there are some shimmer shades and there are few matte shades as well. It obviously depends on your taste what kind of eyeshadow you want to do, but this one, if you have been on my channel for some time, you would know that this is my palette. Like, it has Arnakshi written all over it because of the shades. Like, it has the perfect neutral shades that I would wear outside, and it has a perfect shimmer shades as well. Like, I come across palettes that are, rarely I come across palettes that have the exact tone of colors and shades that I want, and this is perfectly that, is what I'm saying. So this actually has a very nice deep brown in here, and it has some light neutral tones as well that lean more towards warm toned. It's almost like my sweater. So I do have to say the best thing about this palette, I would say, is the shimmer shadows. They have this mousse like consistency. They are like kind of like a hybrid. Like in the pan you cannot tell that, but while I was swatching, I noticed that the consistency is very, very creamy. It doesn't even feel like a powder formula. I'm talking about the shimmer shades. So they are very creamy. They are also very pigmented. And another thing I noticed about these shimmers is that you can apply it with your fingers and you can use a brush as well. Most of the times shimmer shadows work really well with fingers, but this one works really well with brush as well. I did not spray my brush with any liquid or any water. I just used the brush alone, and it gave me such a nice pigment. I absolutely love the shimmer shade so much. It's highly pigmented. If you guys are into this color pattern of eyeshadows, then I feel like you need to check this palette out because each and every shade complements one another. You can create a very nice cohesive look, and you can also wear the shimmer shades out on a daily basis because of the undertones that they have. They're not like too crazy, but you also get a pop of color, so you can include it in your eye look. And I'm telling you guys, this eyeshadow is like really good quality, and there are hardly shimmer shadows that I personally like. I always like shimmer shadows that come in one single shadow, something like that. Palette wise, I hardly like shimmer shadows except the Huda Beauty one, but this one is 10 on 10 on the shimmers, so I loved it so much. I did use 2 shimmers today, and I am excited to use this palette. Like, I'm just excited to use this. So for me, this palette also is like a 10 on 10, and I know that I'll be using this on a daily basis these days. So the next thing that we have here is a little bit of a disappointment. So it is the teeny weeny micro gel lip liner. So it says it's teeny weeny micro gel lip liner, but I feel like it's too tiny for a lip liner. Like I don't know, it's like it was too tiny for a lip liner for me. I'm like, oh my god, that's tiny. Like, this is very, very tiny and very small. Okay, keeping that aside, I don't think so this looks good on me. Like, with my skin tone, it doesn't complement my skin tone. If you are someone who's fair than me, I think so this shade is going to suit you, but it did not suit me at all. It does not look good on me. It washes me out. So what I did today is, instead of using it as a lip liner, because I did try it as a lip liner and it did not work, it looked like a concealer, so I applied it as my kajal, as my waterline eyeliner, and it worked perfectly. So I think that's how I'll be applying this, not like a lip liner but as a kajal. So that's why I say that this is a little bit disappointing, because I thought that this shade is going to suit me, but it did not. Here I want to take a moment and say that if today I'm sounding also a little bit different, I want to say I have a little mouth ulcer going on here, so the way I'm talking is not like usual. So I'm just pressing my lips and trying to talk, so that's why I might sound a little different, and I'm like constantly doing this motion with my lips so that it doesn't hurt that much. Okay, anyway, let's move into the next thing that I got here is a gloss. Now, a lot of you guys told me to try out their glosses. They have so many different formulas. Like the launch of Root Cosmetics on NYKAA is huge. They have a variety of makeup. So first of all, I was confused only what to get or what not to get. But then I saw this gloss, which is the lip lacquer. They have so many different glosses, but I saw this shade and I was like, oh my god, that shade looks so good. I need to get it. So I got it. It's quite pigmented. Yes, it's also a little bit thick, so which means that it is going to last you for quite some time on your lips, not like your usual typical gloss that's just going to go within an hour. The only thing about this gloss is that I thought the shade is going to match me when I saw it online on NYKAA, but the shade doesn't look that flattering on my skin tone. The formula, everything is perfect, even the shade is beautiful, but I feel like it doesn't complement my skin tone, and I can make it work. Don't worry, I obviously use this gloss, and I'm not saying that this gloss is bad. All I'm saying is I need to wear this gloss with a little bit of a deeper toned brown lip liner, and this gloss is going to look beautiful. So I'm like excited to try this gloss, but not by itself. I'll definitely wear a good lip liner that is going to complement this gloss. If something like that happens to you guys as well, just look through your makeup collection, see which combo looks good, and then you can make anything work, I feel like. But because I like the shade, but by itself it did not flatter my skin tone, like it did not look flattering on my skin tone, so that's why I'll try it in a different way next time. Okay, so what do we have here last? Okay, we have a so sorry, I feel I'm out of breath today. So the next lipstick that we have here from Root Cosmetics, this is the last lipstick, and this actually is a beautiful shade, which is the shade Rebellious, and this is a creamy matte lipstick, so it doesn't dry down completely, but it gives a very nice creamy sort of a formula. It's not satin in any way, but it's not completely flat matte as well. Like it does transfer. If I'm just touching my lips, it is going to transfer a little bit, but the shade is so pretty. The shade, I love the shade so much. It matches with the neutral tone that I did today, and I love that it has that warm tone to it, which looks really good all with my skin tone. And I love the formulation of this as well. So if you are someone who's near my skin tone, even if you're dusky skin, I feel like you're going to like this lip shade so much. I don't know if I have exactly this lip shade in my collection, so I'm really excited that I got this. It has a little bit of that brown, a little hint of that orangey, rustic orange sort of undertone to it, which makes it a little bit more unique. It's not like a typical usual nude lipstick, so that's why I feel like you can totally try out this shade, particularly Rebellious. So that was it for today's video. For me, I love the lipstick, and then this is the showstopper for me. I know this palette looks like very boring, but for me this palette is everything. Like if I'm going out for a vacation, I know that I'll be carrying this palette only because it has this purple shade, which I love so much. And for this purple shade only, I always carry like different palettes, because not every neutral palette has this sort of color to it, and this palette has my heart. Okay, so I also did like the blush as well because of the formulation. It's very lightweight. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is the foundation. I feel like you can get obviously better foundations and with so much more affordability, like they are going to be more affordable, other foundations. So for me, this one did not work out at all. Okay, so that was it for today's video. Let me know if you have tried anything from this brand, and yeah, I'll be trying more in the future. This is just like a mini first review or first impressions of the makeup, and I'll be trying out their products, and I'll get maybe more eyeshadow palettes because I'm just in love with the formula so much. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys a lot, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.